friends, and welcome to my craft room. Today I am going to be sharing with you all some foundation pages that I have created solely from scraps. So let me just put that out there. This is the only full-size papers that you will see are ones that I chose for my backgrounds. Everything else was directly from my scrap bin, which I have in just one drawer in my craft room, and I have things sorted by color. So let's start with the foundation page layout share. If you're not familiar with foundation pages, they really are just pages that you go ahead and create without necessarily having photos in mind, embellishments in mind, that sort of thing. So you're really just getting the foundation, you're laying the foundation to be able to then place your photos. If you have photos that you have that would complement the layout, or now or later. So it really does give you the flexibility to be able to use up what's in your stash, but at the same time kind of get ahead of the game, if you will. So the one that you see here, it's just a very simple foundation page. The big piece of paper here, and then the complementary, other sheet of paper this way. So one larger horizontal, one vertically, and then some additional additional layering that you can do. Again, this is very close to a design that I have adapted from just some classes and things like that. So, and then obviously the 3 embellishment clusters. Again, all of this, labels that you can that I had in my stash. These are just using your tools, punches, the same thing with these smaller ones, and then just making these flags here. So very simple. Once I have photos for it, it'll be good to go. I am going to show you down the line here some additional foundation pages where I have already paired up photos, because this is usually the stash that I go to when I'm kind of in the mood for creating but don't feel like may not necessarily feel like scrapbooking, if you will. So sometimes I'll just go find the foundation pages, go through my printed photos, and see if I can find anything, right? But sometimes I'm just in the mood to be making foundation pages. So here we go. All of these strips, just multiple strips, different sizes. Like I didn't care about the sizes of the strips. It's what was in my stash. And again, this being, you can use this in any kind of orientation if it pleases your eye with your photos on. If it pleases your eye to have the flower here, or you can rotate it and have it there. If not, you can rotate it again and have it there. Or because this particular design isn't it's not words that are that go a certain way, it does really give you the flexibility to be able to do that. So I think when it's time for me to use it, I think I will likely use it like this, only because I can then use this to put my title on. So those are some of my initial thoughts. And then this particular one, I didn't have a lot of like little scraps of paper. I used up pretty much everything that I had put together, but I did cut off this flower here, so I may be able to still tuck those in. So I just put that in with a little bit of tape, and I just adhered it to that. So let me show you some some other foundation pages, where I have already paired the photo. So here is another, again, I don't even know if these were, this sings like basic gray to me, but I have no idea what this is. And then I just went ahead and just did a scallop punch right here. I threw these other things in. This is from a very old scrapbooking kit that I think had purchased my girls, because when they were little, they used to scrapbook with me. I threw that in there because I thought it had some of the same colors. I might be able to make it work. Again, any kind of little scrap papers that I think will work, I will put ahead and put it in with the layout. So usually it goes like that. But then let me show you, right? These are, somehow I will get, these are the pictures that I'm thinking of because of the story that I want to tell. So I'm thinking, like, you could do something like this, and again, just bringing these in, like I could use these definitely to like map my photos. These happen to be rounded, but obviously the photos can be trimmed, or I can work with them. This has a lot of empty space, so I can always cut the picture down and again use that as a mat if I want. And then, you know, that's the nice thing about these, like whether you want to tuck them like this, like, you know, you could do so many different things with them. If you want some additional pops of color, whether it's here or up there. And then these cameras you can use as a strip, but you can also cut apart those cameras. So you see how the pages like just really quickly start to come together. Here's another one that I'll show you of one that I already picked out the photos for. So this, again, everything's from my stash. This is just one giant piece of paper. I may have just used a couple of the strips, I don't even remember. But this is also, I thought this was a nice complement to, it just kind of softens the busyness of the pattern of that particular paper. And then I was going through my pattern papers for the green, because I was trying to find something that I could just, you know, make borders up there. And then I ended up finding like these I'm like, okay, I'll put that in. Here's some yellow, more yellow. I was like, oh, I could work that in somehow. The wood grain, there is a gray here in the design or in the pattern. I just have this little strip of gray. I was like, I'll try to work that in. Again, some more of that yellow. This, I was like, when I started putting that on there, I was like, ooh, I like that, I like that. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can find some photos. I'm like, whether it's this one or these together, or, you know, because the other thing is that you can change orientation. So if you want it like this or something to that effect, like, ooh, like I really like that. And then I also found this in my stash, so I could make this work whether I use this part of it or this part of it. Like, it just comes together, you guys. Like, again, not even planning, just picking the papers and not even caring, right? Just putting what looks appeasing to the eye and going from there. Here's another one. This is from a Doodlebug want to say it's Doodlebug 6x6 paper pad. So I just put the two papers together. This, I don't even know, it's just a scrap piece of paper. And again, so is this. I just did the, it's not even a full strip, it's just, it's a smaller, and I just kind of cut it in half, tucked it in, scalloped it, picked out a nice background for this. And I loved the way, I never thought I was going to be able to use this, but I think it goes really well. These are not the same, not the same collection, not even, I don't even think it's the same line. And then here are, I should have kept this here, hold on. So here's the layout, and then I have, here are the extra scraps I threw in, probably for that side, threw the scraps in, whether I use it for that or that side. Again, to be able to just to tuck, to punch shapes out of, that sort of thing. So here's one that's a little bit busier, but I kind of liked it. I liked the different, and you know, I'm gonna pick probably a very simple, not as perhaps pigmented photo for this one, so that it will, hopefully the photo will really just pop. So this is just a bunch of different strips. I didn't even measure like how wide they were. I just kind of took them as they were, and then I just kind of did the fishtail on them, and then, you know, decided at what kind of pattern I wanted them, like which ones should be lower, which ones should be higher, that sort of thing. Very simple. I almost forgot to show you guys. So then I just threw in some, here you have, I could use either side. This is floral, one side is solid. Here's a little tab. I punched out a tag. And this one, you know, it's a floral on one side, black and white, and then it has some of those tones of that green and the light blue. So tealish light blue. So I kept those in there. So that's just to give you guys an idea of some of the foundation pages. What I will try to do is I will kind of probably blend these together and give you a layout share, so that you can see what they look like before and the after. So stay tuned, because that will be next.